The first officer thought the two little girls were simply frightened. 7-year-old Lily clutched her younger sister Emma's hand so tightly their fingers had turned white. Neither girl cried. They just stared at Detective Sarah Collins with an unsettling calm. Then Lily whispered 6 words that froze everyone nearby. "Mom is still behind the red wall." The detective frowned. Their father, Mark Bennett, had reported his wife, Rachel Bennett, missing 4 days earlier. According to him, she'd packed a suitcase after a heated argument and driven away without saying goodbye. But the girls never once asked where their mother had gone. Instead, they kept insisting she had never left the house. Detective Collins had interviewed dozens of families over the years. Children sometimes imagine things. They misunderstood adult conversations. But something about Lily's expression didn't feel imagined.
She wasn't guessing.
She was remembering. When Collins asked what she meant by the red wall, Lily looked toward her father. Mark immediately interrupted. "They've been making up stories since Rachel disappeared." His smile was polite. Too polite. The detective noticed sweat rolling down his neck despite the cool afternoon. She decided to look a little deeper. The house appeared spotless. Too spotless. Every floor had been scrubbed until it gleamed. Fresh paint covered one hallway wall, still carrying the sharp smell of drying chemicals. Mark explained he'd been renovating to distract himself. Reasonable. Except, Emma quietly tugged on Detective Collins' sleeve. She pointed at the freshly painted wall. "That's where Daddy told us never to touch." The detective examined it. The paint was new. The plaster beneath sounded hollow. Before officers could investigate further, Mark suddenly complained about chest pains and insisted he needed to go to the hospital. He wasn't sick. He was buying time. That evening, construction specialists carefully removed sections of drywall. Behind it, nothing. Just empty framing. Mark smirked. "I told you this was ridiculous." For a moment, Detective Collins wondered if she'd made a terrible mistake. Then Lily quietly spoke again. "Not this wall." Everyone turned. She pointed toward the basement stairs. The other red wall. The basement was different.
Cold. Damp.
Unlike the rest of the home, one corner had recently been covered with bright red brick veneer. It looked decorative. But something was wrong. The mortar hadn't fully dried. Officers struck the wall with a hammer. A hollow echo answered. Mark bolted for the back door. He didn't get far. 2 officers tackled him before he reached the fence. As detectives broke through the brickwork, a terrible smell escaped. The room fell silent. Hidden behind the false wall lay Rachel Bennett. She had never left the house. The discovery shocked the entire town. But the biggest mystery remained. Why had the girls kept saying their mother was behind the red wall? Neither child had entered the basement after Rachel disappeared. Or so everyone believed. During forensic interviews, Emma revealed something unexpected. She had secretly followed her father downstairs the night her mother vanished. She watched through the staircase railing. She couldn't see clearly, but she remembered hearing bricks sliding together. She also remembered her father saying, "This wall will keep our secret." Emma never understood those words, until police asked where the wall was. Detectives believed the case was over. It wasn't. Forensic investigators recovered Rachel's smartwatch from inside an old toolbox. Its health sensor had recorded her heartbeat during the attack. Even more surprising, the watch automatically uploaded audio snippets whenever it detected sudden impact. The final recording wasn't long, just 12 seconds. Rachel's frightened voice, Mark yelling, a loud crash, then silence. It destroyed every lie Mark had told investigators. Mark finally confessed. Not because of the physical evidence, not because of the audio recording, because he discovered who had spoken to police. His daughters. He stared at them across the interrogation room window, realizing the children he'd tried to protect from the truth had become the witnesses who exposed him. He quietly lowered his head. I never thought they'd remember. But children often remember what adults believe they'll forget. Especially fear. Especially secrets. Especially the color of a wall. Months later, Lily and Emma moved in with their grandmother. The basement was demolished. The red wall disappeared forever. Yet neighbors say one detail still haunts them. On the day investigators uncovered Rachel's body, Lily never celebrated. She simply looked at Detective Collins and softly asked, "Can Mommy come home now?" The detective couldn't answer. Some cases are solved by fingerprints, some by DNA, but this one was solved by two little girls who refused to forget what they had seen. And because they spoke up, their mother's hidden grave became the evidence that finally brought a killer to justice.